Hi Virgo, and welcome to your horoscope for December 2024. Thanks for joining me. My horoscopes are based on the UK time zone, so please note that and take the time difference into account. And please watch the horoscopes in this order: rising sign first, then sun sign, and finally moon sign. So I'm going to break December down into 4 weeks. I'm going to pay particular attention to what the moon is doing, how it moves through your chart, and what each day looks like then. Okay, so the first week, Sunday the 1st until, well, that's today, Sunday the 1st until Sunday the 8th of December. On the 1st and 2nd, we have the moon in Sagittarius, and that's in your fourth house of family. So starting this month, Virgo, I think you'll be in a good spot starting today and tomorrow. To the point where you feel like you can explore other options. The fourth house is your roots, what makes you feel secure. It can be family, it can be your living situation, and Sagittarius is about the adventure. So I think you'll start this month being super motivated, and you'll look at what comes next, as well as what do I need to maintain in the here and now. On the 1st of December, we have the new moon in Sagittarius. I've made a separate video on that, have a look. But in your case, again, it happens in your fourth house. So I think you feel incredibly confident and rooted and secure, which gives you room to consider other options. On the 3rd and 4th, the moon then goes into Capricorn in your fifth house of what you love. And the moon in Capricorn is in an earth sign. It's very practical. So the theme of relationship may come up on the 3rd and 4th, and you may want to do some work around that area of your life if you want to make any changes. But also, if you're someone who doesn't love what they do in terms of your career, your work, you'll be able to consider that and contemplate it and come up with an answer, as in, this is something I would prefer to do if you're unhappy. If you do like your job, I think those 2 days are going to go really well. You'll be able to get a lot done. On the 5th and 6th and 7th, then, the moon goes into Aquarius, and that's in your 6th house of daily routine, the structures of your life. Aquarius is the sign of the humanitarian and the teacher, and it's an air sign. So if there's anything that needs figuring out or tweaking when it comes to your daily routine, you'll be able to do that easily. But also, if you want to make some changes to your health or the way you exercise or treat your body or eat, anything like that, you'll be able to understand what needs to be changed, and you'll find it quite easy to then actually make those changes. On the 6th of December, we've got Mars, the planet of masculinity and drive. That goes retrograde until the 23rd of February, 2025, so a long time. So with the personal planets, Mercury, Venus, Mars, when they go retrograde, it's quite significant because they affect you personally, right? And Mars going retrograde has to do with a lack of motivation, a lack of drive, maybe not being as focused or confident as you usually are. And in this case, it's in Leo, in your 12th house of spirituality and spiritual strength. So the fact that it's in your 12th house, I think, is actually quite a good thing, because I feel you'll naturally stop the struggle, or you're not going to resist your circumstances as much. And for you, Virgo, I think you'll feel that there's a sense of alignment with this is what needs to be done. And rather than questioning it, I'll get it out of the way. And also in your 12th house, it really empowers you on a spiritual level so that you feel like anything that needs doing is manageable. So it's super encouraging. On the 7th of December, then we have Venus ingressing into Aquarius, and that moves out of Capricorn in your 5th and into your 6th house. And I would say that is also a very good sign. It joins Pluto, the planet of transformation and change, which is also in Aquarius in your 6th. So Venus is creativity and love, and I want to get things started. So it then opposes Mars in Leo in your 12th. And that to me really says, hey, I'm now willing to try something that I've been uncertain about in the past, or on an even simpler level, I'm willing to take a risk and I'm willing to make changes. So even if something seems to be inconvenient or impossible, there's a sense that if I make these changes, at least I tried. And the irony there is that the outcome is likely to be really good, because with Mars in your 12th, rather than just being driven and ambitious in your own right, there's a sense of I'm working with my higher self and I'm taking divinely guided action. To me, that's the number 444. In my deck of tarot cards, I put that in the Chariot card, and I put the 444 on the front of the Chariot, like on the shielded area at the front of it. because I feel that's a representation of taking divinely guided action. And it's my opinion, let me know what you think. If we do double check with our higher selves, our intuition, our gut feeling, our instincts, the outcome is usually better than if we just handle something based on willpower or strength or forcing it. Also on the 7th, we have Neptune going direct until the 4th of July 2025. So with the outer planets, the retrogrades aren't as significant because they stay in retrograde for about half a year each time. But when the outer planets are retrograde, I think that the energy is expressed inwardly, and when it's direct, the feeling is much more about finding it out there in the world. And Neptune is the higher octave of Venus. It's what connects us on a spiritual level. And for you, that goes direct in your 7th house of relationships. So until the 4th of July, with Saturn being in your 7th as well, I feel that this is really good news for you, Virgo, when it comes to your relationships with other people. And I also feel that you're going to be willing to get creative around your circumstances. And again, if something is not the way you want it to be, you feel a sense that I can adapt this and I can realize my hopes and dreams. So it's really optimistic. On the 8th then, the moon reaches its 2nd quarter, so it's waxing, it's getting bigger and bigger, on its way to being a full moon in Gemini on the 15th of December. But on the 8th, it goes into your 7th house of relationship. So that day, the 8th of December, is good for going on dates, meeting new people, making new friends, all of those kind of areas. Okay, so in the first week, the moon goes from your 4th house to your 7th house. That's the second quadrant, houses 4, 5, 6, but also 7. And the second quadrant is really about what do I love and how do I build what I love into my life so that I feel structured and secure. So this first week for you, or the first 8 days, are really a balm, I would say. You feel confident, you're able to make changes, you're hands-on, and the whole thing is very much a can-do attitude. So there's nothing that you need to tolerate if you don't like it. Week 2, Monday to Sunday, the 9th to the 15th of December. On the 9th, we still have the moon in Pisces, still in your 7th house, so another good day for love and romance. On the 10th, 11th, we've got the moon going into Aries, and it joins Chiron, the wounded healer, also in Aries, in your 8th house of institutions and authorities, right? So if any paperwork needs doing, or if you need to go for job interviews, or if you need to get the taxes done, or if you need to get anything organized, particularly if officialdom and red tape and bureaucracy isn't your favorite thing, you'll have the confidence to handle that very quickly and to make a lot of progress and to get things off the table quicker than you expected. So any of, try and plan in things that you don't particularly enjoy. So it could even be chores in the home, and that being the institution, so to speak. On the 12th and 13th, the moon goes into Taurus in your 9th house. And we've got Uranus, the planet of the miraculous and the unexpected. That sits there in Taurus as well. So that's a really good 2 days to explore, to go on a trip, and to travel in a literal way. So rather than, studying something new and broadening your horizons that way, the 12th and 13th, I would say is a really good opportunity to explore new locations, to go places that aren't familiar. And I was reading a book yesterday, and in it said that a lot of human beings tend to stay within their bubble and their routine, and that even people like digital nomads stick to their routine. And often miraculous things happen in life when we take a chance, and when we step outside of that comfort zone and we're willing to say, hey, I'm going to visit a place I've never been to and let's see what happens. On the 14th and 15th then, the moon goes into Gemini, and it joins Jupiter, the lucky planet in Gemini, in your 10th house of work. So those 2 days are great for anything career related. Any presentations you need to do, again, applications, job interviews, problem solving in your existing job, figuring out what the next move would be in terms of your career, again, if you're dissatisfied. And on the 15th of December, we've got a full moon in Gemini, and that also happens in your 10th. So that's amazing for you here in the middle of December, as far as your career is concerned. So if you can, focus on the actual work, or any things that you're considering about your work on the 14th and 15th. On the 15th as well, we have Mercury, the communication planet, and your ruler, Virgo. That goes direct, and it's been in retrograde since the 25th of November. So that's good news for you, because when Mercury goes retrograde, it causes issues with communication and transportation. The good thing about it is that you can consider things and see them differently. So now with it going direct on the 15th, the rest of December, it's in your 4th house of family. Again, it encourages you to go on an adventure. So there's a real sense of optimism in December for you, Virgo, and a sense that I'm on top of things, therefore I can take on even more. That's great. Okay, so in this second week, we've got the moon going from your 7th house to your 10th, so the third quadrant, and that's really you, the individual, the person, in connection to the world out there and people who exist out in the world, and any formal connections you've got. So again, the accountant, the lawyer, the employer, the employees. If you focus on those kind of structures, you'll be able to make positive changes. Week 3, Monday to Sunday, the 16th to the 22nd of December. On the 16th and 17th, we've got the moon in Cancer in your 11th house of hopes and dreams. And I always also associate the 11th house with informal relationships, like friendships. And I was going to say colleagues, but I think it's more about friendships. In Cancer, it's very nurturing. It's very focused on other people. But Hades sits in there as well at 14 degrees in Cancer. So if there is a moment of disappointment in December for you, Virgo, it may be here on the 16th and 17th, where it's likely that you may feel like you're not making enough progress and that you have to work harder than other people. So if there's anything around comparing yourself to others, which, what's the saying? Comparison is the thief of joy. If you struggle with that, look out for that, because you may be a little, why are they doing so well and why am I not? In comparison, those kind of things, you're always going to look at someone, and if you compare yourself to them, it's not accurate, because you don't know what they're feeling, what's going on for them internally. So try and save yourself that. On the 18th, 19th, and 20th, we've got the moon going into Leo, and it joins that Mars in retrograde in your 12th house of spirituality and spiritual strength. So that's a 3-day period where I feel you're just going to experience a wonderful sense of well-being. Things are easy. Again, I'm on top of things. And if something doesn't make sense straight away, I can talk to my intuition and that will give me the answers. Then the moon goes into your 1st house in your sign of Virgo on the 21st and 22nd. And that's a great 2-day period to get your relationships in order, to get anything off your chest that you feel needs saying, but also to get your life sorted out. Your living situation, your paperwork, anything that needs doing on a more consistent level, that needs constant care. So I would even say it's a good day to go to the hairdressers, that kind of thing, the barbers. The sun enters Capricorn on the 21st, and the sun moves out of your 4th house of family and goes into your 5th house of what you love and romance and children. So with the sun going into Capricorn, Capricorn is the sign of the worker, both internally, doing the inner work, and externally, doing actual paid labor, right? And with that now sitting in your 5th house till the end of the month, I really think that you become the job. As in, if I'm not happy, what can I do to rectify that situation? If I want to make any changes in my relationships, what work can I do? What do I have control over to alter that too? On the 21st, we've got the winter solstice if you're in the northern hemisphere, and the summer solstice if you're in the southern hemisphere. In the northern hemisphere, it represents the beginning of winter, which lasts till the 20th of March, and it's the longest night of the year, so the least amount of sunlight, and obviously then it's a change of the seasons. But what I find interesting here, during this period, the sun is your identity, your head, and what you're striving towards, right? So I really feel that you're able to navigate the dark and to say, hey, these are the things that I may not have been aware of before that I now am aware of, and I can make those changes. And again, it reminds me the book I read yesterday. One of the chapters was how to stay single or how to be in a relationship or something like that. And the guy recounts this moment when you went on a date and the other person was really good looking and charming and funny. But the only thing that he could focus on was that the guy's hair smelled of vomit, which I thought was hysterical. And the message was, most people aren't going to tell you something like that if you're on a date, right? You don't want to be rude. And in that case, the point was that maybe consider things that no one has told you about that are causing problems, things about you that could be improved or changed. And I'm a big believer is that we should love ourselves and take care of ourselves regardless of how we come across to other people. But if, most of us do have to have contact with other people, and you may around this time become aware of something like that. Hey, this is a thing about me that other people may not respond to very well, and I can make that either disappear or I can change it if I want. So in the third week, the moon goes from your 11th house through to your first house. So that's the very left of your chart. And it's the fourth quarter. So it's really taking it to the next level as far as your work is concerned, and also getting things in order about yourself. Week 4, Monday to Tuesday, the 23rd of December until the 31st of December, New Year's Eve. On the 23rd, 24th, and 25th, we've got the moon in Libra in your second house of money. So that's really great if you're trying to get investment in your business, or you're trying to get financing, or again, you're doing applications, but particularly if it relates to money. It's also good for working with other people and getting a greater sense of understanding around your own income if you are working, and how that can be changed or improved if you want to change that. If you're not working, it can mean that you're able to express something creatively, or you're able to get creative with your circumstances and adapt them. Excuse me. Okay. On the 24th, obviously, happy Christmas Eve. German people celebrate on the 24th. Then the 25th, we've got Christmas Day, and Hanukkah begins at sundown, so happy holidays to everybody. But with the moon being in Libra, Libra is really a bridge, right? It connects things. And I think if you're spending that with family or people you're close to, you're very unlikely to have any issues, Virgo. It's going to be harmonious and really positive. So expect that to be nice and peaceful and harmonious and quiet for you. Quiet in the sense of no argument. On the 28th and 29th, before I go to those 2 days, the 26th and 27th, the moon goes into Scorpio in your third house of communication, joins Juno in Scorpio in your third house as well. So that's great in terms of, again, connecting to other people, but on a much deeper level. So, around the holidays, if you're seeing people that you only see once a year, keeping the peace is going to be easy during the Christmas period. But then here, when the moon does go into Scorpio on the 26th and 27th, that's great for really having important, intimate conversations, getting close to the people you love, and strengthening those ties, those bonds you have to other people. Then we do have the 28th and 29th. The moon goes back to where it started, your fourth house of family and roots. And because it's been peaceful and quiet as far as your relationships, and you're on top of everything, I get the sense that you return to this space of, what else can I look into? How can I expand all these wonderful things in my life? The 29th as well, we've got Chiron, the wounded healer. That goes direct until the 30th of July. And it stays in Aries until 2027. So Chiron being in your 8th, anything that needs healing in the realms of the official, that can be done easily or more easily than it has been you have been able to in the last few months. So again, paperwork, applications, negotiations, mediation, investments, legal issues, anything like that, you'll be able to focus on and resolve more easily. So it really helps you. And then on the 30th and 31st, the moon goes into Capricorn in your 5th. And we have a black moon on the 30th of December. So a black moon is the second new moon in a month. And this is a new moon in Capricorn on the 30th. And that pulls a ton of Capricorn energy into your being. And what's in between the sun and the moon is the midheaven, which represents work. So again, any New Year's resolutions that you want to make about your career or what you're working on or working towards finding more happiness and joy in your life on a consistent basis, you'll really be able to identify what it is you want to build and create and how you can set about doing that. And then New Year's Eve, the 31st of December, moon is still in Capricorn in your 5th, so same thing, you'll have real wisdom around what needs to happen so that you're happy in your everyday routine or what you're working on. And we've got Palace, which represents wisdom, also in Capricorn there. I think that with the strongest element of Earth here, you not only have the confidence to make big, drastic changes, but I also think you're really grounded and practical and you're not operating in fantasy land and you're like, okay, what actually do I want to do and what's possible? So the final, how many days? 9 days of the month, the moon goes from your second house of money and it moves through the 3rd, 4th, and then ends in the 5th. And that's at the very bottom of your chart. And it's to do with what makes you feel rooted and grounded. So you're really able to now build structures in your life that are genuinely helpful, rather than crutches, which appear to help you, but actually make things worse. So that really allows you to end the year on a very solid, positive note. And you go into the new year feeling super prepared and ready for what comes next. And you're, again, hands-on, and you have a desire to make those changes happen. So that's what I get for you in December. I hope you have a wonderful month. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via the website. It's gregoryscott.com. In my personal readings, I use astrology, the tarot, numerology, and my intuition. To draw up your birth chart, I need your place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth. If you don't have the time of birth, they don't record it in all countries. There's a process called chart rectification where you send me some info about your life and I can actually work it out. So if you don't have the time, don't worry. And even to draw up your chart, I don't need the time. If I don't have it, I use sunrise, and it does impact the ascendant and the houses, so it's better obviously to have it, but it's still possible to read your chart, so don't let that put you off. Please check out some of my other videos. I do a daily tarot reading on the channel. Please become a member to watch that. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Please hit subscribe for more videos and share the video with other people so that the channel grows. I'd appreciate that. Have a wonderful December, and I will speak to you soon. All the best.